Hello, this is Enchanted, and today I figured we'd do some Wario Land 3. Because it's a game I really enjoy, and it's got a lot of very satisfying mechanics when it comes to how the progression works. It's also the only Wario game I've actually beaten outside of Wario World on the GameCube. I like the music. It's got very unique sounding instruments. It sounds very weird in a very fun way. Not just for the Game Boy, just in general. Also, Wario's just always been a very expressive character. Even compared to Mario, he's always been more expressive because he's just so big. Also, because he's an oaf who's obsessed with money and treasure, he can often get into a lot of trouble because he's just kind of an idiot who wants more stuff. And here we have our main objective. Find the 5 music boxes to break the seal. And save this hidden figure, whoever they may be. Okay, that's a clincher for Wario. All the treasure is his to keep. There's a very clean world map with a very distinctive sprites for each major location. You can probably guess all the places we'll be going just by looking at it right now. So let's begin with the first level in the north section, Out of the Woods. Something to bear in mind as well, while we're in the northern section of the map, we're actually facing south, because that mountain in the middle is actually in the middle of the island. So of course, given Wario is Wario, he can dash and charge into blocks, but there's some blocks we can't do anything with right now, like those solid ones and these ones with the little symbols on them. It was like they kind of shows where certain power-ups might end up being used, like the fact that little mole guy is getting kind of annoyed now that Wario's on top of him. That really just kind of tells you eventually something will happen with him, just not yet. And of course, Wario can't swim, so this is completely impassable. I love the animation as well. There's also a major thing with this game, which is that Wario cannot die. He can only get affected by status effects. And as you can see, some of his status effects can be both positive and negative. Like that little electric one, it both stunned him but also killed the enemy that he touched while he was stunned. And here we have a small platforming thing that we can actually get up, so let's see what's up there, shall we? It's a very obvious location to go to. And here we have a key. This is the primary flow of the levels in this game. Find the key, and then find the thing that the key opens. And it seems very simple, and it is, but it will escalate. So as you can see on the menu, there are actually 4 keys of different colours. It's just we can't get to most of them right now. The 8 coins will also be for later as well. Yeah, I'm doing really badly at avoiding these little spiky guys. I like the angry tree though. so here's one of those coins we mentioned before, the music coins we can't get to from here. We have these very cute little caterpillars here as well, which have another rather fun status effect. I'm deliberately showing off here, which is called Yarn Wario. Anything you touch basically dies. But this unfortunately can't be used to break that little thing, because it's just too wide. There's another status effect I want to show off as well. It's this. Fire Wario, which is actually 2 status effects in one. Can't really use it right now, but the status effects are essentially button Fire Wario, where all you can really do is jump as he randomly runs around. You can change direction, but that's all you can really control, is which direction he runs in and whether he jumps. And when he's on the Fireball Wario, you can't do anything. All you can do is sidle left and right. Maybe able to guess what that's used for though. Just we can't really do much with it yet. So we've got the key, and this is the thing that it unlocks, as you may have guessed from the menu. A large grey chest for the silver key. And here we have our first treasure, the axe. What's not quite like with how this game's put together is it kind of gradually introduces mechanics. Like at first it only unlocked 1 extra level, but once we got our first treasure it unlocks 2 levels. And you may also notice here, the map's changed, now it's night. This game is a day-night cycle. And we're going to see how that affects things in the peaceful village. I really like its nighttime music at the peaceful village. It's a very spooky sound, which is very fitting for the type of level this is. These lampposts are very important, and you'll see why in a minute. Those little zombie guys. They're the reason the lampposts will be important. Welcome to Zombie Wario. He can barely jump. Only a single block, really. Can't be hurt. And if you jump on the thin platform, you fall right through it. And the street lamps, or any light source, takes you out of zombie mode. And also be careful of those heads, because they can fly backwards a little bit as well. Like when they kind of snap back, they have a little bit of physics to them. So if you're behind a zombie and its head comes back, it can actually hit you a little bit, if you're not careful. There's a lot of enticing little rooms. And in here, I kind of screw up by destroying this block, so I can't get up here and see what's up there. Try to reload the room just to remind myself, but nope. Just reloading a room doesn't bring back any of the blocks, so we're kind of stuck with that now. But let's look around a bit and see what else we can find. Big frog guy who seems to be a bit stuck, poor guy. Let's see what else there is in this area. I also quite like that at night some of the enemies are actually asleep from the beginning. That's quite cute. And this little hole in the ceiling is quite important, but not right now. Be careful of the zombies and careful of the little fireball man as well that turn you into fire. Those guys can be quite tricky, because if the fireball's out, if the little thing goes out, you will get turned into fireball, and that can be a bit of a nightmare when you're doing platforming. As you can see, I'm really not doing well here platforming, because I keep getting interrupted by being turned into Fireball Wario. So let's enter this room real quick and see what's in here. As you can see, in here there is the grey chest. But there's a problem. I've got the grey key. And the problem, of course, is we've come here at night, which means there's not really anything we can do here. We can't get to that grey key. So this is kind of the main thing with day and night cycle. Some areas you can only do certain things in on certain days and nights. But what you can do though is you can just leave the level in the middle of playing it, which is nice. So let's do that, shall we? Wrong button, sorry. So this will also affect the day-night cycle by making it day again. So let's take a look at what we can do in Peaceful Village now that we've got different enemies. These little donut guys, so adorable. The little chefs. They turn you into Fat Wario, who is far heavier than Standard Wario. Which of course means, if you jump while you're on a cracked block as this guy, you will not be able to do much. You also can't climb up and down ladders, because as you can see, he's way too heavy. So, but jumping enough does actually wear it off, because the whole joke is Wario is working it off. He's exercising, which is a very cute little bit of continuity. I like the whole. I quite like how a lot of these little stats effects wear off because it's quite realistic, or at least logical. Like, for example, the zombies wearing off when you go into light, and the donuts, Fat Wario Chef things burning off the calories. That's quite a cute thing too. And here we have a giant robot. I'm trying to make him do his thing, but it's kind of hard on that small platform, because we need to be able to get up to that platform. And this is a major example of a superpower coming from a stats effect. Spring Wario allows us to move a lot higher and reach higher ledges. I like as well when you flash red to show that you're about to wear off it as well, because you basically use that one for platforming. It's a nice way of showing when it's going to wear off. And of course that got us our first music box coin thing. There's also stuff in here that could be quite fun. Because this time, this little hole in the ceiling has a reason. Because now it's daytime. You may notice there's a little donut guy up there. We can get his attention by jumping through the floor and trying to catch a donut. It's quite tricky and it's really not how you're supposed to do it, but it's funny that you can do it. It's like a little tiny sequence break that's also completely pointless. As you can see as Fat Wario, we can also break these solid blocks, which is quite cool. And we have actually got our first red key. Problem is that you may have noticed at night time, there's no red chest. At least not what we can reach, so it's not really much point doing it. I just did that to show that this level's actually escalating the mechanics even further, because now we can access both keys pretty much from the start. At least when you're in the right mode anyway. It's just you can't do much with one of them. So in there's that silver chests, but we need that silver key. We already know how to break those purple blocks. I quite like how satisfying the really heavy drop is as well. It's quite fun. So here's our next big key. Now we have that, we can finally actually go to get that chest. Here we have our little tablet. Well, half a tablet anyway, as you may have noticed from the shape of it. It's shaped very suspiciously. And it's not doing anything right now. But here I'm just showing off the little treasure menu, because I really like this style of inventory menus, where as you collect collectibles, they kind of form a little picture, or like come together in a logical way and kind of fill a little room. I always find that really satisfying. And the little eye thing just shows you the last cutscene you unlocked. Just a little information thing to remind you what you can do. So let's check out this third level, the vast plain. In this area it doesn't really matter what the day or night is. There's these weird big sheet ghost things that are quite fun. There's little like weird jellyfish people. There's a bunch of little areas down here that don't really serve much purpose. We have these little pipes you may recognize from Mario, but Wario can't go down. They just want to show off what these guys do. They blind you. And of course the whole point of them is to make you fall into these useless little pits. They're just there to be annoying, really. And just another obstacle. The different areas have different styles of day and night music as well, though. Like, this one's much jauntier night music. And here we have a scientist who can turn us invisible, which is cool, and get us past these eye gates, which of course are closed if you try and go through them otherwise. But of course, the main thing with invincibility is there is a thing that wears it off. Going through a pipe makes it wear off. And again, can't really swim, so this area is kind of useless right now. But yeah, we can't go down the pipes, we can come back out of them. Certain pipes we can go down, some pipes are exit only, as often works in Mario, honestly. And of course, the problem now is we're invisible. We can't really see very easily where we are. And of course, that guy can easily throw us through that pipe and immediately wear off our invisibility. And he does a little 5-ton weight we can't really do anything with. But that'll come later. Because one of the interesting things with these games is, this particular kind of game is always showing off what you can't do, as well as knowing what you can do. One thing I quite like with these little yellow guys is that they don't just kind of like randomly get back on top. They have little animations they can do when they get up. For example, those little yellow guys have those little animations they do, which is quite cute, where they throw their umbrellas in the air and kind of float down on them. Those little spiky umbrellas, and that's quite a cute little thing. So of course the main way the key is actually on the side of the chest, right next to it. But of course this is also teaching us something else. Can't open the chest while invisible. You can only open the chest as normal Wario. So let's wear off invisibility. And now that mad scientist guy is going to become an enemy, because now we have to not get hit by its invisibility potion. And something I quite like with this game in general is how it often turns strengths into weaknesses, and weaknesses into strengths. It's a very cute little thing. Now this is going to be where it comes into very handy to remember that the mountain is in the middle of the island, so technically in this northern area we're facing south. Complete the tablet. And it opens this door that we saw from earlier. And now we can go to the west by going right. Again, we're moving counterclockwise around the mountain. So right is west. So we'll head to the west, and next time we'll start exploring the western levels, starting with desert ruins. Goodbye. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and check out my Patreon as well. Speaking of, thank you to James Rossi for supporting me on Patreon.